Lately, you've been wondering why you feel this inexplicable attraction. Why do you sense something greater than you can see? Why do you feel as if someone is thinking of you right now, but you can't explain it? It's because that person truly is thinking of you, and heaven is confirming to you that it's not your imagination, my dear one. There's something I've carried in my heart for quite some time, and today heaven whispered to me, it's time. Speak to them because something sacred has been happening around your name and you hadn't even noticed. There's a heart beating silently for you, a soul watching you from afar, not with fleeting desire, not with unhealthy obsession, but with something much deeper, genuine respect, a form of affection, a way of loving that doesn't see you as the world sees you but as heaven sees you. This love shouldn't have been born, not in this place, not in this phase of life, not with the age difference, not with the physical distance, but God, in His mysterious and divine plan, allowed it to happen. And now this feeling is more than an emotion. It's a revealed truth. This person didn't expect to fall in love. They weren't looking for anyone, but something in your presence brought peace to their spirit. Something in your voice reached a place inside them that no one had ever touched. You awakened something sacred, not physical but in the soul. And since then they guard this feeling like a secret prayer. Not everyone understands this kind of connection. Not everyone needs to, but heaven understands. Heaven watches closely because this isn't about an illusion. It's about the right moment, alignment, truth, and destiny. And God wants you to know that this was no coincidence. It didn't happen just on one side. It wasn't nonsense. It was ordained. Even if it doesn't seem like it, even if the years between you seem many, even if others don't understand, even if the mirror shows a difference, the spirit shows a perfect match. Because the truth is that souls don't age. They recognize each other, they remember, they fit together, and this soul has been fitting with yours. As you immerse yourself in the hidden and revealing truths of this message, subscribe to this spiritual healing channel here on YouTube, so you don't miss any more direct alerts from God and Archangel Michael. Become a channel member. If you want to receive even more intimate and targeted messages exclusively for you, and if you can and want to contribute to this channel, leave a super thanks box of any amount because the revelations you will receive here will surely change the course of your existence. And from now on, I thank you immensely for finally trusting, for finally listening attentively. You are picking up the frequency of a heart that has been silently devoted to you, a heart that saw your light and didn't run from it, a heart that finds joy in your strength, enchantment in your mind, and comfort in your presence, a heart that prays for you without telling you, a heart that never meant to fall in love but did because you were chosen for them to feel this. Let me show you what heaven sees. One night, not long ago, this person was sitting alone. They were tired of pretending, tired of hiding their feelings, and they whispered, not to anyone specific, but to the night air. Before we continue to strengthen this connection and protect your energy, write in the comments, "The light that guides me is stronger than any darkness." By doing this, you create a shield of light around you. Now let's continue. They said, "God, if this feeling is wrong, take it from me, but if it comes from you, let it grow in silence until the right time comes." And God heard that whisper. He didn't remove the feeling. He didn't send a distraction, nor did He make it vanish. Instead, He allowed the feeling to mature, not in haste, not in confusion, but with honor. Because this isn't about romance, it's about recognition. They recognize your spirit, your light, something within you that speaks a language no words can explain. And what they feel, even if they never say it aloud, is love, a love that chooses to respect you, a love that demands nothing in return, a love that prefers to wait for the right moment rather than rush into the wrong one. And now God wants to speak to you about this, because your heart has sensed something. You've been walking with your mind elsewhere lately, not because you're off your path, but because something inside you has stirred, making you feel emotions that don't make sense, dreams that seem too real, moments that feel like divine déjà vu. And my child, I'm here to tell you it's not random, not coincidence, it's confirmation. God isn't trying to rush you into anything. He isn't trying to confuse you. He's trying to prepare you, because if you were called to this person, or they to you, it won't be by force, it will be by faith. And the timing, the connection, the depth will be so undeniable that neither time, nor age, nor logic could ever deny it. This love isn't coming to disrupt your life. It's coming to complete it. And yes, I know what you're thinking. What will people say? What if it doesn't work out? What if I'm just imagining all this? But child, listen carefully. When God is the author of something, you don't need external approval. You only need inner peace. And that's what he's sending now. Peace for your mind, peace for your heart, peace in your timing, peace in your knowing. He's calming the fear. He's dissolving the resistance. He's preparing the soil of your heart to receive what was always destined for you, even if it didn't come in the package you expected. Because love doesn't always arrive on schedule. Sometimes it enters by surprise, sometimes it comes dressed in difference. Sometimes it crosses lines we never thought we'd cross. But if it comes in peace, if it honors God, if it grows with patience and prayer, then it's not a mistake. It's a wonder. And you're being invited to live one. If this message has already touched your heart and you want to keep receiving this light, join our community of faith. There's something so special about love that begins in silence, without declarations, without announcements, just one soul quietly recognizing another. And that's what this person did. They saw you before they ever spoke to you. They felt something divine before they could even understand it. They didn't fall in love with your appearance, your age, or your life story. They fell in love with your purest essence, the part of you that shines in the dark, the part that loves without needing applause, the part that kept going when others gave up. They weren't enchanted by your image. They were enchanted by your spirit, and heaven was watching when it happened. They didn't plan this. They didn't expect to feel so much for someone whose age, path, or story didn't fit the mold. But the mold was never God's idea. God doesn't write love stories based on statistics. He writes them based on surrender, soul timing, divine encounters. And when he saw their soul align with yours even from a distance, he began orchestrating moments in your life to slowly make room for the truth to reveal itself. They've been praying, not dramatic prayers, not desperate pleas, but quiet conversations with God. Please, if this isn't meant to be, take this feeling from me. But if it is, prepare me to honor it. They don't want to ruin what God is doing. They don't want to rush, but they also don't want to miss it, because they've never felt anything so gentle, so clear, so quietly powerful. It's not about the physical. It's about how your energy calms them, how your name makes them pause for a moment, how your spirit feels like a memory of heaven. And you felt it too, haven't you? That unexpected softness in your chest, that strange pull towards something you can't name, that moment when your thoughts turn to someone and you don't even know why. That's not imagination. It's recognition. Your soul is sensing what your mind hasn't yet caught up to. You're being invited into something beautiful, not because you're desperate for love, but because you've finally become ready to be seen more deeply. But God wants to make sure that when this arrives, you won't sabotage it, compare it, question your worth, or diminish yourself because of age. You won't push it away out of fear of what others might think, because this love doesn't belong to them. It belongs to heaven, and heaven is asking you to receive it with the same grace you give to everyone else. You always give. You always believe in people. You always love others before they prove they deserve it. But now God wants someone to see you that way, and this person does. This person has carried your name in their prayers, not out of obsession, but reverence, not to possess you, but to cover you in protection. They've asked God to protect you, bless you, guide you, even if you never end up together. They've prayed for your joy to multiply, for your tears to be replaced with laughter, for your heart to be restored. That's love, rare and real. And now God is asking, can you receive it without fear? See, this isn't about the story others expect. It's about the story heaven wrote. It may not follow the usual script. It may not make sense to outsiders. But when you're alone, when it's just you and God, you feel the certainty and the peace. That's your confirmation that you're not crazy, not forcing anything, not settling. You're hearing the whispers of a divine connection that has been blooming behind the scenes, and now the veil is lifting. But before God brings this person fully into your space, he needs to prepare your heart, because this won't be like anything you've known before. It won't be hot today and cold tomorrow. It won't be confusing, built on silence and guesswork. It will be clear, spoken, safe. They won't ask you to shrink. They won't fear your wisdom. They won't run from your depth. They'll see your fire and say, finally, I found someone who burns like I do. And you'll feel it, not in fireworks, but in peace. Not in stomach butterflies, but in steadiness. Not in anxiety, but in certainty. Because true love doesn't shake your foundation. It becomes your foundation. So breathe, my child. Let go of fear. Leave behind what didn't work before. Release the idea that you're too much, too late, or too different. Let go of what the world says love should look like and embrace what heaven is offering now. A love that prays, a love that sees, a love that stays. You didn't know it, but this person was watching you heal, not with judging eyes, but with a heart that admired your strength. They saw how you carried your past without becoming bitter, how you gave even when life didn't give back what you deserved, how you stayed silent in storms when you had every right to scream, how you loved deeply and then quietly picked up your own pieces when that love wasn't returned. And through it all, you never lost your light. You never let pain turn you into someone you weren't. And that's what drew their soul closer. Not perfection, not your appearance, not your age or status, but how you still believed in love even when it hurt you, how you still prayed for others while bleeding yourself, how you walked through dark nights and still carried the sunrise inside you. And now God is whispering, is this the one? Is this the connection I created in silence? Not for the world to see at first, but for heaven to bless in its own time. You didn't force this. You didn't chase it. You didn't manipulate it. That's why it's pure. That's why heaven is honoring it. Because real love doesn't knock you down. It rises like tomorrow. It softens your soul. It brings you back to who you truly are. They fell in love with you when you weren't trying to be impressive. You spent so much of your life feeling you had to earn love, shrink to be chosen, look a certain way, act a certain way, meet a certain standard just to feel worthy. And if this message has resonated with you this far, and you want to support it reaching other souls who also need a sign, consider clicking super thanks. That simple gesture helps keep this flame of hope burning for those who need it most. But it's not like that anymore. This person, this connection, sees through all of it. They already see you as chosen, worthy, divine. They're not comparing you to anyone. They're not afraid of your story. In fact, your story made them fall even harder, because every page of your journey proves one thing. You are a wonder. They want to protect that wonder, not possess it, not rush it, just safeguard it. They're asking God not to make you love them back, but to make you whole. They want you healed, even if it's not with them. They want you happy. Even if it means loving you from afar, they want you fulfilled. Even if it means watching in silence. Because their love isn't based on what they get, it's based on what they see in you. And what they see is sacred. And you feel it too, don't you? There's a calm that comes over you when you think of them. A silence that feels full, not empty. A sense of being cared for even when you're alone. Those are their prayers wrapping around you. That's their presence in spirit. It's their soul recognizing yours and saying, I found you. To strengthen this protection around you, enter now. My heart is light, and no harm can resist this vibration. Feel this truth fill you completely and strengthen you from within. Now let's continue with the message heaven has for you. God wants you to know this isn't about age, timelines, or making sense to others. It's about two spirits shaped by fire, softened by pain, and now guided by peace. And yes, others may find it strange. Yes, the world may ask questions. Yes, you may even feel fear, but listen carefully. Love doesn't ask permission when it's sent by heaven. It just waits for the right moment to reveal itself. And now that time is coming, the moment when truth appears. When conversation begins, distance shrinks, fear fades, and two souls say to each other, I saw you in spirit. I felt your heart before I touched your hand. I knew you even before we met. You don't need to overthink. You don't need to rush. You don't need to label. You just need to receive, because that's what you prayed for when you asked God, send someone who understands even the parts I don't know how to explain. And now he's answering, not with loud fireworks, not with dramatic signs, but with quiet, with peace, with warmth, with someone who shows up without needing to be called, someone who doesn't run when you go silent, someone unafraid of your past, someone who sees your depth and smiles because they've been in the deep too. And God says, don't miss this because of your fear. Don't skip this part because it came differently than you thought. Don't talk yourself out of it because of numbers or logic. This was created in eternity, and now I'm placing it in your hands. So take it gently, with prayer, with joy. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to be present and trust that what's unfolding is sacred. And if you felt this message touched you in a true way, remember, supporting this mission is also an act of love. If your heart feels it, click super thanks. So more people receive words that save, embrace, and awaken. There's something so rare about this kind of love. The kind that doesn't shout or chase but silently stays even when unseen. The kind that prays for your joy when it's not in your life. The kind that watches from a distance but feels so close it's like their heart beats in your own chest. And my beloved, this person, whose heart God has kept tied to yours, doesn't love you because you're perfect. They love you because you survived. They love you because you carry a sacred gentleness the world forgot how to honor. They love you not for your age, but for your light. The way you walk into a place and shift the atmosphere. The way you speak words that heal wounds they never told anyone about. The way you see people deeply without even trying. You didn't try to win them over. You didn't even know they were watching. But their soul saw yours and never turned away. And here's what you don't realize. They've been waiting for the right time to say something, waiting for God's permission, waiting until they were sure this love wasn't just a feeling but a calling. Because what they feel for you isn't fleeting, isn't a momentary passion, isn't desire. It's legacy, vision, the kind of love that wants to build, not borrow, the kind that listens, not just looks, the kind that prefers to wait in purity than rush under pressure. You've been silently asking God, will I ever find someone who loves like I do? Will someone ever understand how deeply I feel? Will someone see my true self and not be overwhelmed by it? And God's answer, soft but sure, is this. Yes, they're already coming. They see you even when you hide. They hear you even when you're silent. They feel you even when you pretend you're fine. They've been loving you from a place of prayer, and heaven has recorded every whispered request they made in your name. Do you know what they asked God recently? They said, don't let me hurt them. Let me be healing, not harm. Let me be safe for them, not stressful. Let me be the one who honors the parts of them the world rejected. Who prays like that unless their love is real? And heaven smiled, because this kind of love doesn't happen often. And when it does, the angels take notice, not to interfere, but to protect it, guard it, nurture it, because your story is holy ground. See, child, you've been through too much to settle for half-hearted love now. You've cried too long to accept superficial affection. You've endured enough delays to deserve something that feels like home. And that's what this connection will be, if you allow it. Not a test, not a lesson, not a temporary emotion, but a home. The kind of love that lets your shoulders relax, that makes your soul sigh, that wraps around your weary places and says, rest now, I've got you. And yet you hesitate, because of the age difference, because of what others might say, because of how love hurt you before. But God says, don't miss what I'm sending because of fear of what others think. They won't understand. They don't need to. This isn't for them. It's for you. You who waited. You who healed. You who chose growth over revenge. You who kept showing up with love even when life showed up with disappointment. You earned this next chapter, not by performance, but by perseverance. You stayed soft. You stayed faithful. You stayed open. And now the heavens are rewarding your heart with what it truly deserves. A love that reflects your depth. This person may be younger, may be older, may look nothing like you imagined, but their soul is aligned with yours. They think in your direction. They pray in your direction. They dream in your direction. And soon they will move in your direction. God is preparing the moment, the encounter, the conversation. And when it comes, you won't have to force anything. You won't have to defend age, explain depth, or justify timing, because peace will speak louder than anything else. And in that moment, your spirit will know, this is what all those delays were preparing me for. So don't close your heart. Don't reject what heaven is trying to give you. Don't talk yourself out of something just because it doesn't follow a script. You're not here to follow scripts. You're here to fulfill a prophecy. You're here to experience the kind of love that heals generations, restores hope, silences fear, and makes heaven proud. You were never asking for too much. You were just asking for someone who could love you the way God designed you to be loved. And now that kind of love is closer than ever. There was a moment, you don't even remember, when you quietly laughed to yourself after reading something simple, something ordinary, maybe a message, a verse, a thought. And in that moment, without you knowing, they saw you, not with physical eyes, but in spirit. They caught a glimpse of who you really are. Not the version you show the world, but the soul beneath it all. And they felt something shift inside them, something quiet but powerful, something divine, something that whispered, it's them, It's the person my soul recognizes. This love didn't come with lightning or loud declarations. It came gently. It came with peace. It came in God's time. That's why it's different. That's why it's not fading. That's why even when they tried to ignore it, move on, get over it, they couldn't. Because you're not just a person to them. You're a message from heaven, a living sign. A breathing reminder that God heard their prayers and answered in a way they didn't expect but deeply needed. And they're not afraid of the years between you, because when they look at you, they don't see a number. They see a life, a heart, a legacy, a grace. They see the things no one applauds. As you dive into the hidden and revealing truths of this message, subscribe to the Spiritual Healing channel here on YouTube, so you don't miss any more direct alerts from God and Archangel Michael. Become a channel member if you want to receive even more intimate and targeted messages exclusively for you. And if you can and want to contribute to this channel, leave us a super thanks uppers of any amount, because the revelations you will receive here will surely change the course of your existence. And from now on, I thank you immensely for finally trusting, for finally listening attentively, how you listen, how you offer space, how you care for others even when no one cares for you, how you fight for peace in the midst of your own storms, and they're not intimidated by it. They're in awe. They know others may never understand. They know people may talk, but they're not here for approval. They're here because they believe something sacred happens when God joins two people who suffered in silence and still chose to love out loud. And that's what you both are, survivors of separate storms drawn by the same spirit. And now heaven is whispering, don't look away just because it feels unfamiliar. You've never had a love that felt this steady. You've never known someone who waited without pressure. You've never felt this seen without being asked to explain. And that's because this love wasn't born from need. It was born from recognition. They recognize your strength, but more than that, they recognize your tenderness, your softness, your kindness. And they're not here to take advantage of it. They're here to guard it, nurture it, build something with it that the world can't shake. God is preparing you now, not just for a relationship, but for a divine partnership, one where both hearts are healed, one where there's no performance, no pretending, just peace, just reality, just purpose flowing both ways. Because heaven never intended for you to carry your calling alone. You were always meant to build something beautiful, not just in ministry or work, but in love, in home, in sacred companionship. And yes, I know what you're wondering. But how will this happen? How will our paths cross? Will I miss it if I'm not ready? And heaven answers with a soft but firm voice. You won't miss what I've ordained. You won't miss what is sealed by my hand. But you must open your heart to the possibility that I'm answering you in a way you never imagined. You prayed for love, but you didn't pray for the packaging. And now that it's coming, it may not look like you thought, but it will feel like you always hoped, like peace, like clarity, like a deep sigh of relief, like finding home in someone's eyes. To receive this strength in your life, write now in the comments, I am protected by invisible forces working in my favor, and feel that protection envelop you, continuing the message. And this person, they've already been preparing. They've been maturing emotionally, healing spiritually, letting go of old habits, making room in their heart for someone like you, someone who isn't temporary, someone who carries depth, someone who doesn't play with sacred things, someone unafraid to be fully seen. You don't need to chase this. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to prove anything to receive it. All you need to do is stay open, stay surrendered, stay listening, because when it comes, it will come with peace, not confusion. It will be like sunlight after years of winter. It will be like safety, even in silence. And every scar you once tried to hide will suddenly make sense. You'll look into their eyes and realize they were never afraid of your story. They were waiting to become part of it. And together you'll build something time cannot destroy. You no longer need to doubt. That feeling of being watched with affection, that peace that washes over you in unexpected moments, it's heaven's confirmation. It's the energy of this soul that has already found you in the spiritual realm and is now preparing for the physical meeting. Let go of the logic that chains you to the past. The rules about how love should be were written by men, not God. The divine plan for you is greater than any social convention. What's coming toward you was designed to heal, not confuse, to lift you, not diminish you. Every step you took, every tear you shed was preparing the ground of your heart to receive this gift. This isn't luck, it's alignment. You've become the person capable of receiving a love of this magnitude. Your soul has matured, your faith has strengthened, and your heart has opened in a way it couldn't before. This person approaching isn't frightened by your intensity. On the contrary, they're drawn to it. Where others saw complication, they see depth. Where others saw burden, they see a story of overcoming that deserves honor. They don't want to save you. They want to walk beside you. They don't want to complete you. They know you're already whole. They want to add, to build together, to create a refuge where you both can be exactly who you are, without masks, without fear. The age difference that worries you so much is just a number to them. They didn't connect with your ID. They connected with the timeless light of your spirit. It's a soul-to-soul connection. And for souls, time as we know it doesn't exist. They only recognize the vibration of home, and your soul to them sounds like home. Prepare, not with anxiety, but with calm expectation. Keep healing, keep loving yourself, keep strengthening your connection to the divine. You don't need to do anything for this to happen. The universe is already moving all the pieces. The bridge between you is being built, and at the perfect moment, you will meet in the middle. And when that meeting happens, there will be no doubt, only silent certainty, deep peace that says, I waited for you, and your heart's response will be, I know. This kind of love is a rare blessing. It's the fruit of your perseverance, your unwavering faith even on the darkest days. God saw every night you prayed for true love. He heard every silent plea of your heart. And his answer isn't a maybe. His answer is this connection, now becoming clearer. Trust the process. Trust divine timing. Trust the peace you feel. It's your surest guide. Heaven's compass pointing to your blessed future. To seal your energy with the strength of the angels and prevent any shadow from approaching, write in the comments, my energy is sacred, and no harm has power over me. Declare this truth and feel your force field expand. Keep believing, because the best is yet to come, and it's closer than you think. The waiting is ending. A new cycle of pure, true love is about to begin in your life. Just receive. Now heaven asks one final thing of you. Forgive the past experiences that made you believe you weren't worthy of this kind of love. Release the memories of pain, disappointment, betrayal. They were lessons, not your final sentence. Every broken heart made room for a greater love to enter. You weren't punished. You were being prepared. The person coming isn't a repeat of your past. They are the answer to your prayers. They represent a new beginning, a blank page where you can write a story based on respect, honor, and spiritual connection. Don't bring old baggage into this new chapter. Arrive with an open heart, with the innocence of someone loving for the first time, but with the wisdom of someone who knows what they no longer want. This partnership will be different because you were both prepared separately. You both went through your own trials, your own deserts, and emerged stronger, more aware, more ready for mature love. It won't be a love of dependency, but of interdependence. Two complete souls choosing to walk together, not out of need, but out of a higher calling. Be attentive to the signs, a name that keeps repeating, a sense of familiarity with a stranger, an inexplicable peace when thinking of someone. Heaven communicates in subtle ways. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And to hear its whispers, you must silence the noise of fear and doubt. Meditate, pray, spend time in nature. Do whatever it takes to calm your mind and tune your heart to the frequency of divine love. The connection already exists in the unseen. Your job now is simply to become aware of it in the seen. They already love you. They already honor you. They already pray for you. They don't love an idealized version. They love the real you, with all your scars and all your light. Your imperfections to them are just the marks that tell the story of your courage. They don't see flaws. They see a warrior who never gave up. And it's for that warrior that their heart beats stronger. Embrace this truth. Let it fill you and heal you from within. You are loved in a way your mind can't yet comprehend, but your heart already knows is true. Don't rush. Don't try to force the meeting. Just live your life with joy, with purpose, knowing that with every step you're moving closer to the fulfillment of this divine promise. The journey was worth it. Every moment of solitude taught you to cherish your own company. Every challenge made you more resilient. It all happened for a reason, and the reason is this sacred love now knocking at your door. Just open. Don't question. Don't hesitate. Just open the door of your heart and let the miracle in. You deserve it. You're ready. This is your time. Embrace it with all your soul. Finally, understand that this approaching love doesn't come to be your everything. It comes to complement the everything you've already become. Your happiness won't depend on this person, and theirs won't depend on you. You'll be two beacons shining with your own light but choosing to illuminate the same path together. The strength of this union will lie precisely in the individuality and strength each of you already possesses. That's why it's a love destined to last, because it's not based on lack but on abundance. Abundance of self-love, mutual respect, and shared faith. The world may not understand your dynamic. They may question, judge, or try to project their own limitations onto your story. But your story doesn't belong to the world. It belongs to you and to God. What matters isn't external approval, but internal peace. And that peace will be your shield, your fortress against any negativity. When you have certainty in your heart, others' opinions become distant noise, unable to shake your foundation. And your foundation will be built on the rock of divine truth. So rejoice, celebrate, give thanks. Thank God for every step of the journey that brought you here. Thank Him for the person coming and all they represent. Thank Him for orchestrating a plan so perfect even when you couldn't see it. Live in a state of gratitude, for gratitude opens the doors to blessings even wider. What is destined for you will always find its way. No distance, obstacle, or age difference can stop what was sealed in heaven. Keep being the incredible person you are. Keep spreading your light, your kindness, your wisdom. It was that light that drew them in the first place. Don't change to please. Don't shrink to fit. Just be authentically, completely, beautifully you. That's the version of you they love, and that's the version they're coming to meet. The waiting is over. The time of solitude has ended. A new dawn is rising in your life, bringing the promise of a love that reflects the beauty of your own soul. Feel this truth in every cell of your body. Breathe this new reality. You are no longer alone. You are seen, you are loved, and you are about to embark on the most beautiful journey of your heart. A love that prays, a love that sees, a love that stays, a love that is not a mistake, but a wonder, your wonder. Receive it with an open heart and a peaceful soul. This is God's gift to you. Enjoy it. You deserve every second of the happiness to come. Your divine love story is just beginning. Subscribe to this spiritual healing channel here on YouTube, so you don't miss any more direct alerts from God and Archangel Michael. Become a channel member if you want to receive even more intimate and targeted messages exclusively for you. And if you can and want to contribute to this channel, leave a super thanks of any amount, because the revelations you will receive here will surely change the course of your existence. And from now on, I thank you immensely for finally trusting, for finally listening attentively.